So once he has finished entering all the numbers, we're going to find the maximum number. Does that make sense? Okay. So what do we need to do? How do we do that? How would we go about doing that? What do we need to do and where? Does anybody have any idea? How would we go about finding a max? Okay, declare two outside variables. Yeah, min and max, that's fine. We can immediately find the min as well. That's fine. Declare like this: int min, int max. And now what? We need to compare with each number, with each element. That makes sense, right? Let's try to do that. Let's first focus on the max, and then we will add the code for min. So what do we do? If the number, like if the current number of I is greater than max, well, max becomes that number, right? That's basically how you calculate max in your everyday life. Like you just look at the numbers and you see like 5, 7. Okay, I'm remembering 7, 7, 3, 2, 25. Okay, I'm now remembering 25. And then you keep comparing. 25 is your max up until that point. And then you're like 7 again, 19. You don't care until you reach a number that's greater than the one that you currently had, right? But now it's complaining here. It's saying my variable max might not have been initialized. What does that mean? Well, what to compare the first number to? Max doesn't have any value, you know. We haven't given it a value. How to avoid this problem? We can do two things, and we will do both of the suggestions. We can put first element to be max, and we can assign 0 to max. Okay, let's first start off with 0. Let's just say max is 0, and we are trying to find out, you know, that works. I mean, let's check it out. Let's first just run it once with our numbers, and then just to avoid, you know, wasting too many times inputting numbers, I will be using some pre-made array like this, just to showcase some of the things that I want to show you. Okay, enter the length, -2, -3, -4, -5. As long as we're entering the negative length, it just makes us enter again. So let's do 5. That's fine. Enter number 1. 1, 9, 4, 2, 8. And it prints out the length of the array. So we have done all of this in vain. I'm sorry, I forgot to change the message. You know, plus max is okay. Yeah, for sure. That's the thing I was aiming at. 0 will give the wrong output for negative values. So this has a flaw, and we will see that flaw immediately. Now let me just first run it once to make you think it works. Enter the length 3, enter number 1, 8, 88, 6. Well, apparently our program works. And this is what you will often see in programming. You're like very proud of yourself. Everything works nicely. You're on top of the world, but then you get this input. Enter the length, let's say 5, enter number 1, -5, -3, -5, -10, and -34. And now max is 0. Well, that's incorrect. That's just wrong, you know. So how do we go about fixing this? Of course, the reason is max is 0 at the start. Who said that we can use 0, you know? So 0 is greater than all the negative numbers, basically. So if we have all the negative numbers here, the max would be -5 because no, -3, because that one is the least of all the negative numbers, right? So we need to, our program needs to work for negative numbers as well. How do we go about fixing this? Let's try the first element to max. Let's try that. How do we do that? Well, we say a of, not a, but numbers of 0. integer max value, but really you wanted to say integer.min value, because if you assume that it's max value, then nothing is going to ever be greater than that. Yeah, that's one solution. But another one is as well to try the 0th number, and I'll just be getting rid of this. You already seen inputting numbers works. I'll not get rid of it completely. I'll just comment it out for you guys to have later, but let's let's contract that as well. And I'm going to be using pre-made like arrays, because I just want to quickly be, oh my god, get rid of that, paste it here. Okay, I just want to be able to quickly, you know, showcase what I'm trying to do. So yeah, let's try this. I mean, if we assume that the first number is max, then it should just work, you know. So let's run this. Max is 4. Was it 4? Yes, it was. Well, let's break this program real quick for you guys. What if you get an empty array? And this is why programming, you know, is kind of like frustrating at times, because you have to cover every bloody case. You cannot say, oh my god, why would you even want a maximum out of nothing? Well, it can happen. What, you know, like database returns nothing and you're like, your program is supposed to do something and it just crashes. There's no excuses. You have to consider all the possible, you know, the variations. So the thing is, of course, yeah, well, we can of course check the length, and we can say if numbers dot length is greater than 0, do all this, and otherwise, of course, max needs to be declared. Now we need to do some little things here, like in that case max is that, but otherwise else, well, we don't even have max, then we can just put this here. Otherwise we don't even have max. I mean, now I don't even need the max, could have been used here. I was thinking like max, we will put something else to max in the else branch, but we cannot do that. We cannot just assume if there is no numbers, then max is like 5. No, we have to print some kind of error message, like error empty array, you know. So basically we need max only. I was putting it above because I was thinking like I'm going to need it outside the if, but no, it really just, it is enough for it to be in the if statement, you know. So yeah, here is just now complaining because it's always true. But the thing is, if we now give an empty array here, now it will no longer crash. It will just say error empty array. Okay, so the point of this was that both answers, though they might have seemed correct, were actually had the edge case where they were crashing, you know, when assuming that the first number is the max, or when, you know, having the max be 0 or any other value. Okay, yeah, integer mean value might have solved both problems, you know, like the smallest value, but then again that wouldn't work for that integer mean value would not work for zero length array, you know, because it would just tell you that the max is that value and it's not, you know. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because if it's an empty array, I mean, you would still have like int max equals like the most negative number, whatever that is, right? I mean, it's called, what Almir said, it's called integer dot mean value. Basically this just, you know, represents some value. I mean, this is just ugly to look at, but yeah, that's minus 2 to the power 31, you know, that's just some like negative value. Imagine if this was just saying like minus 2 to do something like this, and it just called like this, you know. But now if we do it this way, then for empty array, it would just print out, hey, this is the maximum value in the array, which it's not, you know. So it doesn't really work. The only way that it properly works is if we just cover the cases separately. Okay, so that was just one thing that I wanted to show you, because you always need to be thinking about edge cases. What if something is empty? What if something is too big, too small, I don't know. You always have to cover everything. And for minimum, we will do basically the same thing. I'll just move that here, and we will assume that minimum is also the first number. And now the logic is reverse. If minimum is at any point, like let's say if the number of that we're comparing is, if that one is less than minimum, we need to update our minimum because we have found a new minimum, right? And now let's say max is min. Okay. And now if we run this, and now I need to give some example here, 223 minus 2, 0, 9, 9. Okay. And if we run this now, okay, max is 99, minimum is -2.